What's going on, guys? Ricky, how you doing, man? How's Hollywood treating you? Like a baby treats a diaper. No, I'm kidding. It's funny, it's funny you should ask that. Can't really talk too much about it yet, but I might actually have a job coming up. Actually, I even went to the trouble of updating my demo reel, my animation demo reel, for the first time in half a decade. So, I don't know. If it happens, I'll spill the beans here. But, yeah, that could be a very exciting kind of thing. It could be very fun. I'm actually kind of stoked about that. But we'll see. I'll find out hopefully this week if that's going to happen or not. I don't know. What is that? A dino head? A PUBG? Big news. It could be. It could be. This one sort of came out of left field. A very, very good friend of mine, a buddy of mine that I've known for, God, almost 2 decades now. He's a friend of mine that he calls me up sometimes. He did this a few years ago. He called me up and he goes, "Look, I know you've retired from animation, but we got some work over here on the Flash TV show, and if you want to come out and work on that." And I jumped. I did that. That was, what, 3 years ago now that I went out there and did, what, like 6 months worth of that stuff. And yeah, he called again. So we'll see. I had to spruce up the reel. I don't know. If you guys are interested, I can pull it out and show it to you. But put some of the newer stuff that I've been working on in there, and then sent that off to him. And we'll see. Fingers crossed. We'll see if that happens. But you know what? As much as you love Dana Carvey, Master of Skies, this would actually be much cooler. I know you don't think that's possible, but this would actually be cooler. So no, sorry. It is 100%, as far as I know, is 100% Dana Carvey free, unfortunately. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Ricky, what's going on with you, man? Anything new? Fun weekend? I lost a good chunk of it trying to revamp the old demo reel, like I talked about. But I'm back again doing this fun stuff. Actually, I guess I should do an update here. You can see. Let me turn on number 1, so you can see the latest. Where Dana Carvey went after Master Disguise. He hasn't been active. Well, the disguise worked too well. No one can see him now. He's no. I don't know. I mean, Hollywood is a tough place, man. It is. I mean, especially for actors and actresses. You can get typecast, and if you have a couple of misses, then you can get absolutely dropped. And just, the old adage, "I couldn't get arrested as an actor," kind of adage. But I don't know. That's a good question. I guess I could look him up on IMDb, see if he's done anything. But Not sure. Obviously, I was a massive fan of his back in the old SNL days. You have a random fact. Okay, let me hear it. What is that? Let's hear it. Why are you doing that? Here you go. I'll show the latest and greatest. Pretty much finished his animation for the body. Here, let me go, like, full screen, maybe. There it goes.
The last piece of equipment is now on board, sir.
Terrific. Good riddance to that whole planet.
And the Tribble's back as well.
What?
It's back.
No.
Yes.
No! Lock the ship down!
Sir, it's just a Tribble.
Do it! Security, go floor to floor until you find and vaporize that mangy furball!
There we go. So we got that going, and obviously working on the lip sync now. Smooth animation. Well, I try. Oh, thank you. So yeah, and you can see the lip sync where I got up to here. You can see my little markers indicating keyframes. So we get in the beginning here.
The last piece of equipment is now on board, sir.
Terrific. Good riddance to that whole planet.
And the Tribble's back as well.
What?
It's back.
No.
Yes.
No! Lock the ship!
Yeah, and I got to right there. So I'll pick up from there. Alright, so what's the interesting fact? Let's hear about that.
Lock the ship!
Yeah. Alright, let's get implosive. So do 2 frames here. Yeah. Like that. That'll do it.
Lock!
Okay, why do I have them closing here? That's not good. That's not what I want. There, that's better.
Lock the ship! Lock!
There you go. You kill me with the suspense, Ricky. What is it? Come on, man. What's the big interesting fact there? That Dana Carvey hasn't worked since then. Do the kind of come open here. There we go. The famous turtle scene in Master of Disguise was filmed during 9/11, literally as it was happening. So if you rewatch the turtle scene, you can look at the actor's face, see how terrified and hysterical they are. Wow. Yeah, I remember that day way too clearly. And then I know there was one movie called Big Trouble with Tim Allen and a whole bunch of other stars. And the press screening for the movie Big Trouble actually occurred on 9/11. And in the movie, there is a bomb on a plane. Unfortunate timing, right? But it's a comedy, right? And it's done for laughs, right? Not a good time to be laughing. So, you know, it was sad because the press watched this movie and they finish watching the movie and they come out and they hear about what's going on in the world. And so they ended up taking the movie Big Trouble and shelving it for a long time. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was a coincidence. I'm not going to go any conspiracy theories on that one for sure, but it's a shame because Big Trouble is actually a really funny movie. I laughed really hard at that one. I mean, God, you know, I gotta bust it out here because the amount of stars in that thing, it was just insane. At the time, Tim Allen was pretty much the standout. Yeah, so it has a release date now listed as 2002 because they just sat on it for all that time. And I think they ended up just like dumping it in the theaters unceremoniously and just kind of putting it out there. But yeah, so I mean, so you got Tim Allen, Rene Russo, Stanley Tucci, Tom Sizemore. Always, he's a funny guy. Johnny Knoxville. right? There you go. I have the pleasure of saying how good was it. I thought it was funny as hell. Let's see, what did they say? 6.5 in IMDb, 47 in Metacritic, but that may just be because of the time of when it came out, where nobody wanted to laugh. Directed by Barry Sonnenfeld, who did the Men in Black movies, I guess. First one was really good, but yeah. So Johnny Knoxville, I can have bragging rights to the fact that I did animation for a movie that he was in, where I animated squirrels doing terrible things. Dennis Farina, always loved him. He's such a cool guy. Serrano. Is this Tweedledum? Put Tweedledummer on the phone. Let's see, Janine Garofalo, Patrick Warburton. Using... Uh-oh. Wow, Streamlabs. I got that kind of set up. Look at that. I didn't realize I had, profanities. Uh-oh. Poor Ricky. Ricky, did you say a naughty word? Jeez, I didn't realize I had that turned on, man. Oops. Ben Foster, Zoe Deschanel, who got pretty famous for The New Girl. Omar Epps, Jason Lee, early role for him, and Sofia Vergara. So I mean, look at that, man. That's a hell of a cast right there. You know, just insane cast. But I thought it was really funny. I haven't watched it in almost 20 years. So I may come back and kind of go, it's not as funny as I thought. Really? You got bonked for that? Okay. Okay, well, I may have to dig that in, dig the settings and maybe turn that off, because that seems a little sensitive there. Yeah, that's what I get for messing with the settings, I guess, but sorry about that. Yeah, and then just kill, like, your entire conversation, too. Sorry. Yeah, it's a little harsh. Yeah, okay, so just... It's here to protect us all. Oh, man. Yeah, so, I don't know, maybe you can say what you're saying before, just, like, you know, I don't know, use keister or hindquarters or something like that. So, yep, sorry about that. Yeah, that's crazy. That's a little overly sensitive. I mean, it's, you know, protecting for the F-bombs, that kind of stuff, but, you know, if it's just, like, the alternative donkey, that's kind of stupid. Oh, yeah. Really? And that's what it actually, that's what it bonks you for, was the term jackass, which is referring to a mule, or Johnny's case, yeah, he was in a movie called A Dirty Shame, which was an NC-17 movie, actually. So I have the bragging rights of doing character animation for an NC-17. Let's see if I can find it. Yeah, 2004. Yeah, there you go. So, A Dirty Shame. That was a million years ago. Oh yeah, NC-17. John Waters. So if you have any familiarity with John Waters, you'll know that he does some really edgy stuff. It's a movie about a town where when people get like physically hurt, they sort of like have like sexual encounters kind of thing. So it's a weird, trippy film. And like I said, I animated a bunch of squirrels running around. So Tracy Ullman, Johnny Knoxville, Selma Blair, who more famous for whatchamacallit, oh god, why am I blanking? Crap. Hellboy. I had Iron Man stuck in my head. Hellboy. Yeah, she was pretty famous for the Hellboy series. But anyways, yeah. So there's my connection to Johnny Knoxville. After 20 years to doing animation stuff, I pretty much can connect to virtually any TV movie star within like 2. Squirrel, that is a weird Alvin and the Chipmunks sequel. Very family unfriendly. The squirrels do some pretty naughty stuff.
the ship!
Yeah, I don't even know if I actually even saw the whole movie. I don't think I ever did. I just, the scenes that I worked on, I saw that, and that was enough for me.
Game over.
All right.
Thank you so much for playing my game.
The ship. Okay, and we'll come into the word ship where he says that. You don't watch movies that you made or help produce. In the beginning, I did, but when you start working on so much of it, and you know, and I have this terrible joke that I used to say. I say they pay me to work on it, not to watch it. So it's just I've worked on some amazing things over the years, and I've worked on some really crap things too. So you know, yeah. I don't know. Actually, should I bust out the demo reel? Since I spent the weekend sprucing it up, I don't know if you're curious, I'll pull it out so you can see some of the stuff I'm talking about. You know, but yeah, you want to see it? Okay. And let's see. I take it up. Do I still have it here? Nope, that's that guy. Desktop. All right. I may mute it because it's just music, and I got the other music running in the background, so I'll mute the audio, but here you go. So this is my most recent demo reel. Not everything I worked on. This is because demo reels traditionally you have to sort of like keep it down to like 2 minutes in length. You don't want to like bore the person, so I have to cherry pick just some of the stuff I've worked on over the last 2 decades, and so this is a sampling, not at all everything, but a sampling of some of the highlights. So here you go. That's weird with no music. There you go. Santa Clarita Diet. This was last year. This little guy's called Mr. Ball Legs. There you go. He climbs out of the cage. So I did it like 14 shots with him, and then this is this nightmare slow motion shot that I did a few years back on Flash. And then Grodd and Salvar. That was actually CG Flash that was there a second ago. He's the only CG Flash in that whole sequence, by the way. All the rest of them were the actor composited in. So I take pride in that. Adam from Legends of Tomorrow. I always liked the animating Adam. Always the sci-fi part. CW Flash, there you go. Atomic Monster, which is the movie company. They redid it as a stop-motion animation, unfortunately, so it didn't last that long. Pack of Wolves from the old Hemlock Grove show on Netflix. Terminators from Sarah Connor Chronicles. The Chernobog from Once Upon a Time. And Cylons. That's from way back in like, what was it? 2004? Fringe. That was Spock. That was actually Leonard Nimoy I got to animate there. And then this was like tie into Avatar with Cletus the Foxbot. So I just animated Cletus in there. And then that's Joseph Gordon-Levitt getting run over by cars. It is, okay, I'll clarify. It is me moving the objects around the screen, but there's a ton of people around me. There's a group of people that model the characters. There's people that texture them. Then someone rigs the models, and then I animate it. And then another person renders it and lights it and renders it to make it look pretty. And then another person takes all that stuff and composites it together into an image. So in that sense, no, I'm just an absolute small little cog in that machine. But yeah, I did the performances, the acting there, the animation. So there you go. So that's, yeah. The movements are smooth. No, thanks. Been practicing for a long time, but we'll see if it pays off. Like I said, fingers crossed. We'll see this week if I score this gig.
Lock the ship!
And it's funny because I just finished working a couple of weeks ago for this other company doing some stuff that when it comes out, I'll tell you all about it, of course. But my intention was just to focus full on the game stuff, but this one sort of made me change my mind potentially. If I could land this one, I would go do it for sure. It's a big deal.
the ship.
So we'll see. But yeah, that was it. That's a little sampling of, and like I said, each one of those shows, that wasn't all the stuff I worked on. That was just a couple of shots from that. Isn't it much more resourceful to use mocap on 3D things? Yes and no. You know, it's becoming a lot easier, so you're seeing more of it, I think, in some ways. There was a project, one of the ones I worked on recently was mocap, but, you know, and here's the thing, mocap isn't a end-all be-all solution, right? The catch with mocap is that you get amazingly human-like performances. I mean, hell, I even own a mocap suit myself, right, that I use for certain instances, for certain things, but it's traditionally what happens is whatever you capture with mocap isn't the finished product, because what'll happen is that the timing is wrong, or the director will suddenly decide, or a supervisor will decide that, oh, you know what, he waves his arm here, but that's too soon. We want it to go like at a different time, and that kind of stuff, right? And then you have to either go back and redo the entire performance, or you have to have an animator come in and modify the mocap, right? And then it sort of becomes point of diminishing returns, because a lot of visual effects isn't extended length shots, right? They tend to be very short shots, and at that point, if you're going to start redoing it, then there's a lot of expense for all the equipment and the artist, versus an animator that just does it themselves, and it's easier for them to revise it. Is there a reference or placeholder to get the general idea? It could be. But you know, then see, if you just use it as a reference, then it's a really expensive reference. You know, at that point, it's better just to have a library of pre-existing animations. I mean, and we did that a lot too. And the Flash, and then, well, like on the Legends of Tomorrow, I didn't include it in that most recent cut, but there's one where he's jumping on the light switch, Adam, in Legends of Tomorrow. The stuff before it, there's a part where he flies through the air and then comes crashing down, lands, and then stands up and starts running. You know, and the camera dollies along with him. Rather than me animate the run cycle, there was a pre-existing run cycle that had been done before, and I just dropped that in and then adjusted it to fit my animation. So traditionally, it's a lot better just to have a library of pre-made animation that you can drop in if it's going to be a show where there's a lot of repetitive type things. But copy paste, yep, exactly. So, you know, I mean, yeah, so mocap is I mean, you know, as an animator, obviously I hate mocap because that's taking work away from animators. But I don't fight it. I don't besmirch it. I understand the fact that, you know, someone sitting in front of the screen and animating for a week on something. Really? Okay, that's way too sensitive. I have no idea what you... Not again. Yeah. Okay. For using too many caps? Jeez. Alright, I'll go in and, like, adjust the settings, because that thing is definitely going nuts. I didn't realize I even turned all this stuff on. You referenced South Park? Yeah. Well, I guess you have to do it lowercase style. Oh, they took our jobs. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Well, actually, mocap had less of an impact on animators than outsourcing did, right? Getting the stuff sent to other countries was much more, which in that case it was, they took our jobs kind of thing. That was sort of a truism kind of thing, but so yeah, and that was the whole reason I mentioned this before. I'm repeating myself, I guess, but that was why I got into the game development in the first place. I was working, and this would have been back in 2004, and I was working on a show that I came in one day and they said, oh yeah, by the way, you're done today. We just actually took all the jobs, the animation jobs, and sent them off to Canada because they have the government does kickbacks, so they're going to get cheaper rates to go up there. And I was turning to my friends and kind of going, this is what we got to face in the future, right? And so from that point, immediately I started tinkering with doing game development, you know, and then I still had enough animation jobs that I didn't really make too much of an effort, but, excuse me, what was it, 2008, when I finally hunkered down and worked on making my very first game. which I completed nights and weekends in 2010. And what was the funny thing was, so my wife and I packed up and left Los Angeles. What was it? 2000? Yeah, 2000. The end of 2010. We came out here, and literally a couple of months after I left LA, the company that I did most of my work with took all of the television show work that they have been doing in LA and moved it all up to Canada. So I mean, I pulled stakes right before most of that work disappeared there, you know. So it's just, and some of it has come back, but yeah, it was funny timing. But you know, that's now I'm in this beautiful situation where I can have something else going on, and I'm living a lot cheaper than I did in LA, so I can afford to bide my time. Well, it's more than that too. I mean, because there was other things too. Florida had some massive incentives as well. As a matter of fact, Digital Domain moved, another company I had the pleasure of working with a couple of times over the years, but they took and moved everything to Florida for a while, and then the incentives went away and Digital Domain abandoned Florida, right? But Texas had it for a while. Actually, Atlanta has a massive amount of incentives, not for like visual effects, but for film production, and that's why so many movies and TV shows are now shot in Atlanta, right? They've nicknamed it Yollywood.
Turn it off.
Yollywood. You know, not besmirching Atlanta, of course, because that's actually where I originally came from, so I can't trash my original home. But yeah, it makes sense though. It's, you know, the reason why Walmart succeeds is because people want to go to Walmart and buy all the stuff they want cheaper, right? So if you're trying to make TV or film, right, and then your job is to make quality but make it as financially inexpensive as you can, you're going to chase the incentives, right? And Canada offers like yeah, and that's, I mean, I get that, I understand that, and that was part of the reason why I just went and started doing my own thing, so I could kind of control that better, you know, by doing my own game development but still subsidizing it, right? So I mean, I've got the perfect scenario, so I can work on my own stuff, but then when Hollywood calls and says, hey, we have this and we want you to go work on it, I just kind of go, oh, hell yeah, why not? Sure, you know, and just do these small stints, right? So exceptionally fortunate at the moment that I can actually kind of pull this off, and we'll see. Hopefully I have good news sometime this week, but it may not happen. I don't know, but if it does, you'll know, because I have one hell of a big grin on my face, I'm sure. But in the meantime, I gotta finish this game. Dana Carter, we sent you the Master of Disguise 2 script. Okay, I gotta go into here, so it's like this, and then this, and then here. We're gonna put that up. Lucini, what up, buddy? How's it going, man? So, yeah, I was just talking shop about the animation stuff. Redid the demo reel for the first time in like 5 years, but was busy. We'll do it tomorrow. Awesome, man. I would appreciate that. Yeah, and for those that don't know, anyone that's hanging out here, if you see right there, yeah, you can actually play the full version of the game on Steam right now and playtest totally free. It's not finished. As you can see, I'm still working on the animation stuff here, but everything ending with well, that's why. There you go. You know. Oh, and then the gratuitous plug there from Streamlabs. So yeah, and then of course, please join me on Discord. But yeah, if you want to try the game out on Steam, costs you nothing right now, and you can find any bugs that I've missed while I'm still working away trying to finish everything up. But there you go. Yeah, Lucini, what's going on with you, buddy? Anything new? How was the weekend? Anything exciting? Yeah, you just missed it. I just played my demo reel. I don't think I'll do it again because I just did it. That'd be kind of like gratuitous, I think. Maybe I'll do it a little later if you guys want me to. I'm here for another half hour at least. Alright, so let's push this way. Black Sails. Not much else happened, I guess. How is that? I think my wife started watching like season 1 because she's big into that whole time frame. But I think she stopped watching. I think that's one, or maybe it was, I don't know, maybe it was a different one too. Maybe I'm confusing it. I did have some friends that worked on the visual effects for that. I think they even got like an Emmy nomination. But Alex, what up, buddy? Toss this. There you go. Give Penny a little exercise. Nice, good catch. All right, Ricky, I'll be around. Anything new for Triple Troubles? Not really, aside from actually finally getting Steam to give me the approval. So that was cool. So now, you know, like I said, you know, there you go, gratuitous plug. The game is now available, and so far it's hard to get the full exposure. So I mean, there's a chunk of people that have signed up for it or grabbed it, but haven't really got any feedback yet. And I don't know if that's good or bad. I don't know if it's because nobody is playing it, or nobody has found anything wrong with it, or they just don't want to bother reporting it. But we'll see. Do you own the other Twitch channel that's named Scary Robot Game? There's another one? No? Is that someone trying to feed off of me? I haven't heard of that. Huh. No, I guess I'd have to look that one up, wouldn't I? Nope, I have no concept of that whatsoever. Oh, or unless it's probably just because there's plenty of guys that have, people that have a Scary Robot on Twitch. So maybe one of the things that they're just playing games and they refer themselves as a Scary Robot. So I don't know. Is it just, are they just playing games, or is they doing something like I'm doing? You watched 2 seasons myself before and I loved it. Only didn't finish because I was watching with another friend at the time who couldn't watch anymore because of work. That's always tough when you're like watching it with someone and you know, one of you gets tied up. Do you know what it's on? Is it Netflix or Amazon or Hulu? Or I signed up for Paramount Plus. I pulled the trigger on that one. We'll see if I regret it. You know, they have like right now they're running the deal. If you sign up, you can get Paramount Plus half price for a 1-year subscription. It's a pirate show. No, yeah, I know the premise of the show. I'm just saying, what network is it on? Stars or something. Yeah, it was. I think it was originally, but I figured by now it's probably on Hulu or something. I guess I could look. Let's see. Black Sails. Yeah, it's on Hulu, so I can watch it on Hulu. All right, add to my stuff. There you go. I just tossed Black Sails into my collection. So, yep, I'll give that a look. I'm running out of good stuff to watch these days, so I'll give that one a try. Alright, so explosive, so we gotta do it over 2 frames. Oh, he stretches the system out, doesn't he?
The ship!
So, in that case, we'll drag this out.
The ship!
Oops, that's too long. There we go. Now we go into the I part of ship. And oh shoot, did I not key everybody there? Oh, that's bad. Let me fix that. Yeah. Let me fix that. I forgot to key him here. There it goes. There you go. Yeah, like that. If your wife is into pirate themed shows, there's a documentary, half live action TV show coming out soon on Netflix. The Lost Pirate Kingdom, it's called. Okay. Yeah. I'll tell her about that one. half documentary. So it's like reenacting like live occurrences or something like that, stuff that actually took place in the past. Uh-oh. Penny's worked up over something.
Lock the ship down!
Alright, and then we go into the ship. So here, let's just squish everybody. And they're doing it better than old TV shows. Higher budget. Not an intern who rolled in the mud saying, "Arr." That's cool.
The ship down!
Yeah, there's been this weird, strange influx on Netflix of all these Asian shows, right? A lot of Korean ones. And I found like 2 that I really enjoyed. And then the rest of them, I've sort of like gotten 1 episode in and just quit. But yeah, Startup on Netflix, which was, I guess, an original, was fun. I mean, it's mainly just the typical Korean soap opera kind of stuff, but it's based around the whole startup stuff in South Korea of companies trying to create a technology company. So that's always interesting to me. Sort of like Halt and Catch Fire, but a lot more friendly.
Ship down!
Shit. The Korean show was also interesting. I think I made it like 1 episode in on that one. Sounds familiar. I'm trying to remember. Let's see what it was, because at this point I've gone through so many of them now. Let's see. Yeah. I guess this will speak volumes here. Here, you can see I made it halfway through episode 1, and I gave it a thumbs down. So, I'm harsh. Yeah, that one, I don't remember what it was that annoyed me, but it annoyed me, and it went bye-bye. You know, I don't have much patience these days, right? I'm quick to judge, and you can just see I just lower the boom on that one.
The ship! Ship!
Alright, so ship. You know, actually I can drag this out a little bit since he's gonna do that. Like that. Ship. And then he's gotta go into the D here. Harder to grasp, feel, I don't know, for foreigners. Oh, maybe good, tailored to residents of the origin. It's less about that, you know, because Reply 1988 just hoovered that one up like crazy. Now, and part of that was also the fact that I was the age of the characters on the show, right, in '88. So I had a connection to that, even though it's a totally different life experience, right? The stuff they were living through in that part of, I guess it was like an outskirts of Seoul in '88, was a total different experience than what I had in '88. But just the time and the look and the feel, I love that one. I was watching Sisyphus, right? That was another one. But what bugs me is that they'll start off sometimes like really super serious, but then they'll go into this goofy slapstick kind of stuff, right? Or the credibility goes so far away, right? Stuff that happens that just makes no sense, right? Excuse me, like when the good guys, when the good guys are surrounded by 30 people, all with guns pointed right at them, and then they turn around and run away, and they don't get shot, nothing happens, and they escape, and you kind of go, wait, what? You know, that kind of stuff, right? It's just, the credibility disappears. I don't mean the way the characters live, but the way they tell a story, and especially in Korean shows so far, how much fantasy stuff is thrown into something that looked like a regular TV show. And once again, that would not bother me, right? The fantasy stuff I would actually enjoy. It's just when it sort of gets, you know, what's the other one I was watching too? Vincenzo, right? In like the first half of the first episode of Vincenzo, I was just, oh, this is fantastic, right? You know, he's this tough guy, a South Korean guy who's works for a mafia in Italy, right? But then the Don, the father of the family dies, and then he relocates to Korea. But it spirals, in my opinion. It's just, the stuff that happens just is kind of stupid, you know? And it's frustrating that it starts off so good, but then when it starts going into goofy, silly, and then wants to be serious again, I have a hard time, you know? You know, if like James Cameron was directing Dana Carvey, right? You know, it just, it's kind of like, wait, you can't be serious and then silly and then back into serious again. To me, that's a bad mix. So, something like that. Start off good and then get silly. Almost every show. Yeah. Well, at least that's the way it's been lately. I mean, I'd have to go back and look specifically the ones I was watching, but oh, Game of Thrones PTSD flashbacks. Yeah, I'm familiar with everything that pretty much happened just because I've been on social channels and all my friends have talked about it. But to this day, literally, I've not ever watched a full episode of GOT. My wife has watched all of it. She absorbed that one like crazy. But yeah, I never. Yeah, it's one of those things I figured I'd come back to it at some point. But at this point, so much of it has been spoiled by all my friends who feel the need to tell everything that's going to happen. Imagine it like this. Yeah, let me tighten that up a little bit more. About like that. Nope, that was better the first time. They butchered it, but worse than Lost. Oh, the last season of it. Yeah, that I heard. Yeah, you know, I don't even think my wife finished it. I think she kind of got to like the last episode or two, and she just kind of went, yeah, no. Yeah, and that's a shame. I mean, you know, there's been several shows that have almost like they're thumbing their nose at their own audience, and it's kind of like, yeah, we want to do it this way, you know. I mean, I have great examples. Lost is a perfect example of I really don't like their ending. It's way too open-ended, and to me, they can sit there and kind of go, well, it's deep. No, it's just the writers being lazy, in my opinion. Sopranos, everyone hated the way that ended. Dexter, the last two episodes of Dexter were so insulting to the fans of the show, I thought. Let's go down. Not like that. Let's go this way. Yeah, Dexter. Yeah, I mean, that's a show. It's like, how do you do something, you know? And then, in fairness, I think Dexter ran too long, anyways. I mean, it really started hitting that sort of lather, rinse, repeat kind of formula after a while. And it was, you know, who is going to be his foil this year? You know, is it going to be Jimmy Smits? You know, and I think it could have wrapped a season or two earlier and been stronger. Why though? I actually, yeah, I can tell you the moment I stopped watching it is when he's trying to be normal and he flips the car because he's too tired of trying to do that duality world. When that moment happened and it just kind of went, you know what? This is, they're fabricating a forced kind of scenario to make this interesting. And yeah, that was when I stopped until the show finally finished, and then it's kind of like, okay, and then it came back available, and it's like, I guess I think what happened is I even like jumped, I can't remember the actress's name, the one that ended up becoming almost like a protege, younger actress. I can't remember her name, but I think I skipped that entire season. Just watched the recap of that one, you know, and just kind of jumped towards the end. But you know, the old, the younger, the protege, not the new girlfriend, right? She was actually kind of a fun story, but even that kind of wore old after a while, right? The one that ran the the nursery with the, you know, her. I'm remembering. Yeah, she was in the Born Identity, one of those movies, right? Where he ends up like getting her to help. I'm not gonna find it. She's gonna be buried too deep. But anyway, but yeah, I think they hit too much of a repetition, and I think they ended it really poorly, in my opinion. But yeah, so I mean, those are some examples of shows that just, yeah, we're gonna end it. We know you want it to end this way, but we're just gonna thumb our noses at you and kind of do it however we want. Alright, so a little wider here. Yeah, like that. Three, since that's a dragged out word down that he's saying, I'll go ahead and make that 3 frames in between there. And I'll let the mouse start to come close. Down. Oh, you know what? I can't. That's wrong. He's going to go into the down, right, which is the mouth is going to get tighter. Yeah, so I got to go that way.
Ship down! Ship down!
Like that. Go another 3 frames. Just started watching, last night, just started watching season 3 of Discovery, Star Trek Discovery. I'm only 2 episodes in, but I really like the way they shook things up. No spoilers, I won't talk about any specifics, but so far I like what they're doing. We'll see if it stays that way. Yeah. There. Trying to make sure the lip doesn't come too far inside there. Yeah, okay. Like that.
Ship down!
Ew.
Ship down!
That's way too mechanical there. That's really crappy.
A ship down!
That's better.
A ship down! Down!
And then down, we go into in, so we'll actually be closing the mouth pretty much. Like that. And plosive, so we'll do 2 frames there. Little life to it. And then 1, 2, 3, 3 spaces there, 3 frame space. And now we'll start to just get the mouth totally closed. And then I'm not going to close it completely. I like having it open just a little. Let's try that.
Yes.
No! Lock the
Yeah.
No!
I need that to close there. There.
Yes.
No! Lock the ship down!
Sir.
Down!
Yes, this is taking too long to occur, so it looks kind of...
Down!
Ooh, no, you know what? Other way.
Down!
So what I'm going to do is just leave it kind of pinched in like that.
The ship down!
Ooh. Still looking funky. Let's try that.
The ship down!
Damn it.
Down!
Okay, I think that fixes it.
Ship down!
Sir,
No, it's still that. Let's try that.
The ship down!
sir,
Still feeling kind of poppy there.
Ship down!
sir.
There you go. Happy with that. Okay. So, I'll do a quick playthrough here. Bring her up. Switch to this one. And of course, lip sync's going to disappear here in a second, since I'm only part of the way through, but let's get some of that. Okay, so here you go.
The last piece of equipment is now on board, sir.
Terrific. Good riddance to that whole planet.
And the Tribble's back as well.
What?
It's back.
No.
Yes.
No! Lock the ship down!
Sir, it's just a Tribble.
Do it! Security, go floor to floor until you find and vaporize that mangy furball!
So far so
And
good. Part of me looks at this section right in here, right?
Planet.
And the Tribble's back
Yeah,
as
so I
well.
mean, he's totally
What?
frozen there, right? And part of me wants to just add a
That
bunch
whole
of life to
planet.
that, but
And
I'm actually
the-
going to leave it as is. Number one, this is very stylized, right, in terms of the characters and the animation, but also she's going to be active here, so I don't want to pull away from
To
her.
that whole planet.
And the Tribble.
So by letting him freeze, it allows me to sort of shift your focus to her anyways. So that's my excuse for not bothering to animate him in that section right there. Yeah, that's my story and I'm sticking to it. Alright,
No! Lock it down!
alright, so we got lock it down.
The ship down!
Sir,
Yep, that's my story. See, that's the cool thing about, you know, being the animator and the boss. You can just kind of go, does that work? Yeah, good. Okay, move on.
Ship down!
But then if I walk away from it and come back later, then I can get judgmental again and kind of go, what were you thinking, dude? That's just crap. Fix it now. But that's always been a trick of mine for animation, is to stop something and go away and come back. And just, you get fresh eyes, right? It's the forest for the trees kind of syndrome, where I'll completely miss something that's very obvious after not looking at it, and then hopefully make the change. I can see that though with when the other tiger is animated, people will focus on it. Yeah, I mean, I could still do a little bit, you know, but if I do that for him, then it becomes the classic upstage concept, right? Which actors and actresses are famous for over a century, of doing some little activity in the background to upstage the other performer. But yeah, I mean, if I was going to be really diligent, and if I didn't have 2 more scenes to animate, I may like flesh them out a bit more, but no, I think it's fine.
Down!
You know, and I don't know, we'll see. Once I get her animated and I have it in full context, we'll see. I may actually decide that it's fine, or I may decide it needs to get changed. Just out of curiosity, if you were to animate a horse, how long would it take you to get a walk, trot, gallop, walk backwards, and grazing animation done? Not talking about the rigging, just the animation itself. Not very long. I mean, if it's one of those things that I don't have to do transitions, right, and just do the stuff itself, not that bad. I mean, we're talking like probably a couple of days at most. Excuse me. Yeah, a couple of days to do those 4 at most. Yeah, but I mean, that's also my style, right? I mean, what I have in my head in terms of the amount of detail in the animation may not be what you're thinking, right? So I mean, there's there's some that are much better animators than me. Okay, no, there's many that are much better than me that would probably spend a lot more time and put a lot more effort into it. But I'm sort of a fan of the law of diminishing returns. So I ride that fence of quality versus time. Oh, of course. Yeah, of course. I mean, well, okay, fine. Here, I'll give you an example. Let's see. Let me bring it up here again. So, demo reel. So if I jump, where was it? Here we go. So for example, here you have a pack of wolves that I did for Hemlock Grove a bunch of years ago, right? That's only a couple of shots. There was actually, I think, 6 or 7 shots I did in a pack of wolves, and I think I literally accomplished the entire animation for all of the shots. And if memory serves me correct, it was either 1 week or a week and a half, right? So, I mean, I think they move like wolves. I mean, you know. So, yeah, it's a matter of, I got a stick of learning more stuff so I can be creative. And part of it is also, the way I look at it is, it's kind of like a slider, right? You know, because what'll happen is they'll say, you have this much time to do this animation, right? And then I will adjust accordingly, right? Some of the little nuanced details that I may want to put in there, I just let fall to the wayside because I know that the time isn't there. And I mean, in my reel, you'll see that virtually almost, I do. Yeah, sure. If you want to see. Let me dig it up. Let's see. I don't have it handy. One sec. Let's see. Copy link address. There you go. That should do it. That's one I just put that together this weekend. Lucini, I think it came in a little bit later. So I updated my demo reel for the first time in almost 5 years. And let me double check. Did I actually send that to the right place? I did. Yep, that's the reel. Because I had a friend of mine that's offered me a potential job that can't talk about yet, but I had to spruce up the reel because it's just the old one I had was really outdated. So I shortened this one up. It's 2 minutes, and we'll see. I'm supposed to hear back this week. I'll repeat myself now. Sorry for anyone else that's been here for more than 5 minutes. And I lost my place here. There we go. So, yeah, and that's a decent cross section of some of the stuff that I've worked on over the last 2 decades. There's a lot more, and then there's a lot, even those individual shows, there's a lot more in each one of those shows, but that's a very compressed. I think I talked about this over the weekend. I think what I may do is actually eventually do a massive demo reel that's just like insanely long, which just has almost every shot from every show I worked on, except for ones that I hate. I always am very critical of all the stuff I've worked on, and I always look at it and kind of going, dude, why did you do that, man? Why the hand should have gone like this, you know? But that's tweaking. I have some shots I look at and kind of go, I'm gonna bury that. I'm gonna deny I had anything to do with that shot. That's terrible, man. That's god awful. That's not me. It wasn't me.
Down!
Sir.
Do you get everything you need and then only do animations, or do you do the rigging? The vast majority of the time, like 90%, 95%, yeah, at least 95% of the time, I'm just an animation monkey. You know, I mean, I can model. I'm a like so-so. I'm a decent modeler, but I don't really texture well. Texture's always been an Achilles heel of mine. I've never been able to do that. I'm an okay artist, but I definitely know my limitations there. Rigging I can do. I can do so-so rigs. I mean, these were all my own game stuff is rigged. Model examples of yours? Not really. Not really. Because that's not anything I've focused on, and it's not something I do very often. I really don't have much. Catwalk video. Hey, yeah. There you go. There is nice. Oh. See, I so dated myself right there. You obviously will have no concept of what that's referencing, but I just referenced a commercial from like 40 years ago. 40 years ago. Davia, that's nice. Let's see if I can find that. See, that's what I love about the internet. Commercial. They wear is nice. God. Yeah, it was a Winnie's commercial. From 1985. gotta love the internet.
Pay attention, please. Thank you. Is next day there? Very nice.
Very nice.
Is next evening there? Very nice.
Having no choice is no fun. That's why at Wendy's, every hamburger isn't dressed the same. You'll get your choice of fresh toppings, fresh tomatoes, fresh lettuce, fresh onions, cheese, bacon, and more. Having a choice is better than not.
Is next swim there?
And as you see, the joke is the fact that you won the exact same outfit.
Choose fresh. Choose Wendy's.
There you go. There's an example of modeling. Yeah, I've not seen that commercial in, what was that? Over 30 years, and I still have David is nice in my head. God. Oh, my head is filled with so much crap. That's just sad.
Down! Down! No! Lock the ship down!
Sir, it's...
Alright, and then he's going to do breathing here. So, there you go. A blast from the past. But no, just to come back to answer your question. I really don't. I can't remember the last thing I was actually paid to model in 2D or 3D. It's just, I mean, I really haven't bothered because, I mean, I'm surrounded by people that are the best of the best, right? So why would I bother trying to be a modeler when the 3 people sitting next to me are just absolutely can destroy me in terms of quality? So it's not something I've really done. And, you know, even the game stuff, right? Some of it I've done a little bit of, but most of it I've farmed out just to people that can do much, much better stuff than me.
Down! Down!
Alright, so we got down.
Sir,
And he's just doing his breathing now. Like that. Yeah, so open the mouth here. There's a German beer ad where a woman writes a letter and says something along the lines of, I like you, and blah blah, but I also like the beer. That was prickly on my belly button. That was prickly on my belly button. Okay. Am I missing some context there? Alright, I gotta, let's go open wide. Literally no context. Okay, good. I just want to make sure that I wasn't, like, failing to understand something there, but I got it. Okay. You can see the video. Okay, yeah. Alright, so what I'm going to do is come up with a bit of a cycle for this. but I also don't want it to just ping pong. Wow, that was fast. Okay. Includes paid promotion? Really? For a 30-second commercial?
Lieber Harald, hast du Lust auf ein Spiel? Geh links.
Titles.
Schau nach oben. Woran erinnert dich das? Genau, die Bier, die so schön prickelt in meinen Bauchnabel.
Schäferhofer Weizen. Prickelt länger als man trinkt.
Dasselbe Prickeln, derselbe Genuss.
Schäferhofer Alkohol.
No idea what they're saying, but yeah, I'm buying. She said, prickly on my belly button. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that's effective. For its target audience, for sure. Being bubbly. Who cares at that point, right?
Down!
Yeah, I don't. Neither do I, actually. Nor do I. Yeah. Diet soft drink. That's just about as fancy as I get right there. So I need to go wider here. Actually, I think it'd be the other way around. Yeah, like that.
Down!
Sir,
Ooh, God. That's terrible. Space that out a bit. And dial that down a whole lot. That was terrible. Yeah, it needs to be super subtle.
Down!
sir, it's...
Yeah, and that's still going to be too much there. I think that'll do it.
Down!
Sir, it...
Down! Mom!
Sir, it...
Alright. I think that'll work okay.
Sir,
I'm just going to have to work on some in-between frames there.
sir,
So it's not just ping-ponging like it is right now.
sir, it...
Like that. Copy that bad boy.
Sir, it's... Sir, it's...
And he's back down. Like that. Yeah, sir, I think of... there's a... Sir, this is Winnie's? I don't know that meme. I'm not familiar.
Down!
Sir, it's just a trip.
So this first one, I'm going to do much more subtle. Like that. The day of sharing...
Ship down!
Sir, it's just a...
Yeah, that's still
Down!
creepy.
Sir, it...
Down!
Sir, it's just a... Sir, it's just a...
Yeah, okay. So I'm just doing the extremes here.
Just a...
And then I'll put some breakdowns in between to make it transition better.
Sir, it's just a triple. It's just a tri... A tri...
Here. So he's gonna be coming in here like so.
Sir, it's just a triple.
Do it!
That's not bad, but I could definitely use a little bit of breakdown in between.
Down!
After that.
Sir, it's just...
Weird and ridiculous. The other one answer, sir, this is a one. Oh! Got it. Got it. Yeah. Yeah, so I got this bump here, and it's like, yeah, and then, sir, this is a Wendy's? Okay, yeah, I got it. It's sort of the equivalent of the aristocrats joke. Alright, so I definitely want to go wider here. I'm going to change my mind on that one.
Down!
Sir.
Oh, that's still... Okay, that's what I gotta do. I gotta start sooner here, like that. Kind of segue into it. Hopefully that's better.
Down!
Sir, it's just a tribble.
Yeah. Okay, that plays better.
No! Lock the ship down!
Sir, it's just a tribble.
Do it!
The tribble.
Making a little headway here. Oh, Arby's? Yeah. I like Arby's. The old mozzarella sticks. Unfortunately, I have no Arby's nearby me. I mean, it's weird because, like, the city of Las Vegas sort of has almost like a circular kind of road that encompasses the whole thing. And then my quadrant, there's just, like, nothing. You gotta, like, go far away. Excuse me. But the good news is they're building the crap out of my neighborhood. So hopefully I get an Arby's pretty soon. They just built a Burger King. But yeah, that's not as exciting. I'd like an Arby's. The sandwiches are good, but the mozzarella sticks, those are freaking awesome, man. Yeah, get them really tight there.
Do it!
Excuse me. I actually love to eat at American restaurants like Arby's and Wendy's, Taco Bell. Really? So you have none of those? They don't make it into your neck of the woods? I thought they were so prevalent worldwide. I didn't know that there was any areas that escaped the gratuitous food chains all over the place. And then be careful what you wish for. Yeah, you've never been to a KFC? That's good. But, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm guessing you probably have these fantastic restaurants all around you, right? Oh, okay. There you go. I like that. No. I'm not saying I want them here. You've never had a taco, really? Well, don't start at Taco Bell. That's Taco Bell is absolutely not a true taco, anyways. But I mean, it's so funny how prevalent that stuff is here. We literally have, I'm not exaggerating. We literally have 5 taco restaurants in a 1-mile radius or down the street from me, and I'm not exaggerating. That's not like a joke. I mean, that's a literal fact. Waffle House, pancakes and stuff at a diner. Well, actually, if you want pancakes, you got to go to the International House of Pancakes, IHOP. If you want pancakes in Germany, you got to do them yourself. Yeah, because Waffle House is mainly just waffles, right? Yeah, if you know anything about Waffle Houses, someone who grew up in the South, in the United States South here, Waffle Houses were still are very prevalent, right? And the old joke was, what has 6 arms and 8 teeth? And that would be the night shift of the Waffle House. And I'm sorry to whomever I just offended, but it's a classic joke, because I mean it was in this day and age, right? I mean, everyone's used to well, at least in the U.S. I mean, I'm sorry, I'm speaking very, very geographically, locally for myself here, but at least in the U.S., everyone's used to all restaurants being open pretty much 24 hours a day, the drive-through at least, right? You know, so you can go to most, most things like Taco Bell, KFC, Jack in the Box, McDonald's, Burger King, all these things. Most of them are pretty much 24 hours a day. They'll have the drive-through, but not that many years ago, a couple decades ago, most of them closed by like 9 o'clock at night, right? And they were just done. So if you wanted food, if you needed food in the middle of the night, yeah, you were heading to the Waffle House, because that's pretty much all you had a choice of. Turkish, Iranian, etc. foods, lots of Indian restaurants, so that's nice too, but nothing Mexican. That's fascinating. I wonder why that is. I wonder if it's just it's because of the population, or if it's just the lack of interest in that cuisine. But that is, I mean, but like I'm saying, if you're gonna try Mexican food, don't try it in a fast food Mexican restaurant. You have to do like an honest to God real Mexican restaurant to get the true experience. Like to get a true carne asada kind of, you know, a true real taco. That's just, there's no comparison, you know. I mean, that's like saying that a Lamborghini and, you know, like a, I don't know, I can't even think of a good comparison. Like a Yugo, right? They're both vehicles, but they ain't the same. I know that from the movies where the protagonist is half bleeding to death and enters a diner with, like, steak and waffles in some weird combination. Sounds about right.
Just a tribble.
Alright, so actually I can start doing the O mouth here. Give me all your syrups. And that's actually one of the International House of Pancakes, IHOP. One of their biggest claim to fame is that every table has like this hodgepodge of various syrups that you can try. Right? They have like the classic maple and that kind of stuff, but they also have like boysenberry and all. Can't remember all of them. I was just a maple kind of guy. I'd just go straight to the maple syrup and I'd be done. The Good Place. You don't want their pancakes. The Good Place, as in, wait, the TV show The Good Place? Did she go eat? Is that, God, I can't remember that. Was that Kristen Bell eating at IHOP? Oh, no. It wasn't her. It was the guy that was the fake Buddhist monk. It was him. The one that was always like, yeah, dog. Oh, dog. Right? That was just a terrible impression. I don't do impressions, as you can see. But yeah, the one that was in Florida. There's a gag with IHOP, but it's not a restaurant, but something else for the godly beings. Okay. God, I have to refresh my memory. I loved, by the way, you want to talk about that. The ending felt a bit abrupt, right? The way they sort of brought it around, but, you know, kind of like they found out they were canceled at the last minute. But I love The Good Place, man. Kristen Bell is just such a sweetheart anyways, but the whole cast was just so amazing. Ted Danson is just so fantastic in that role. I love that. Absolutely love that. I really just started watching Veronica Mars. Yeah, as a matter of fact, the lava creature that was in a couple of episodes of The Good Place, that was actually a good friend of mine that was done by Zoic Studios, the one that I do a lot of my work for, right? He actually animated that lava creature. And that was in between my stints there, so I'm jealous that I wasn't there at the right time, because I would love to have worked on the lava monster. I would love to have had that one in the reel, because he was very funny. We reserved the room. Yeah, that was great, man. But yeah, Veronica Mars is really good. I've not seen the updated one, but I watched the original series, binged that one. And that's another one that has a few other familiar faces that were not necessarily famous at the time. Yeah, they did a new season. They did one. Oh, is it a movie? I thought they actually did it as a series. I guess I have to go look. Maybe it was just a movie, but I mean, we're talking like the last year or so. Yeah, Kristen Bell. Wait, it was 2014? Was the yeah, 2019. Yeah, they actually, so they did the movie in 2014. Was that, yeah, season 4. Yeah, so it was released in July 2019. So I guess that was 2 years ago. So yeah, I have not seen season 4, but yeah, that was an edgy show, to be honest. I mean, if you look at most of the, I think that's kind of, you could kind of put in the genre of the young adult kind of idea, but I thought it was much better than most typical YA shows, in my opinion. I hate that. I hate that, man. The worst is when I try and look up an actor, a show I'm watching, or an actress, and I'm trying to figure out what I know them from, and then IMDb, you have to try and scroll real quick because you don't want to see how many episodes they're in, because then you've just spoiled. You know, the worst is when you see like one episode and you kind of go, oh crap, that's it. They're one and done. They're not going to survive this whole episode. That sucks. Yeah. Never had a chance. Oh, you like this character? Don't get comfortable. Don't start a fan club. Let's just put it that way.
Tribble.
Alright. So, yeah, I'm kind of cheating here because it's like breaking a little bit, but I just really want to go wide here. And I think what I may do is dial that down in the beginning so I have somewhere to go. Ah, see, I can't go any further. The rig literally rips itself apart there. And I think what I'll do is narrow. Do a month of delay on. But I'm actually. Oh, look at that! Thank you. I didn't notice the time. I was about to say that's why I kind of limited it to only an hour, but then I realized, oh crap, it's past, isn't it?
It's a tribble.
Do it!
And I haven't heard the penny bugging me. All right, I'm gonna hit Control S there. That's a good point. I guess I should see if I have a penny outside the door. What do you think? Should I wrap it up there? I think I will. Yeah, I got some. I'll go through it one more time. Yep. All right, and then I'll do that. There you go. While I'm doing this, there's the links. The Discord obviously pops up on its own these days, but there's the YouTube link if you want to check out the Scary Robot stuff. So there you go. Nice. You just time shifted it. You know, you missed the first 20 minutes. You know, that was all filler. That was like previously on the Scary Robot Game Dev stream. All right. Let's bring her up, and one more time. We'll check out our progress.
The last piece of equipment is now on board, sir.
Terrific. Good riddance to that whole planet.
And the tribble's back as well.
What?
It's back.
No.
Yes.
No! Lock the ship down!
His head's too
Sir,
high.
it's just a tribble.
Do it! Security, go floor to floor until you find and vaporize that mangy furball!
Can you tell where I stopped animating the mouth? What I just discovered is that I do this bit where the head comes up here when he says no, and I leave it up. So I'm gonna have to bring that back down. Yeah, that is great, isn't it? That's a great pose
Sir,
to just have it stuck on. Put on the reds. Put on the reds. Yeah, previously on The Walking Dead. Oh yeah, absolutely. There, I think I have like
The last
an
piece
eye
of
blink
equipment
right there
is
in the beginning, but yeah. So I prefer to animate in a layered type fashion, right? So I do body first, then I'll do lip sync, and then I'll go back and add the eyes on top of it. I find that I work better, I get better results than trying to do it all at once, and I'm just lazy. So yep, absolutely, I'll be doing all kinds of stuff, little bends and that kind of stuff, lots of squash and stretch and that kind of stuff. So that'll be coming up after I finish lip sync. But uh-oh, there's a shadow under my door. She must have heard. All right, I'm gonna hit Control S. So, all right, before I open up the door and unleash the Kraken known as Penny, Lucini, thanks for coming around, buddy. And let's see who else was. We had a. Let's see. Oh wow, Lucina was going it down. Oh yeah, Ricky was here. Ricky, I promise I'm gonna go ahead and like ease up on the restrictions. So, yeah, he was typing simple words, right? He said like jackass, right? Which is the name of a mule and also a TV series, and he got like blanked. So obviously that's a little extreme. So I'll fix that. But yeah, thank you so much, guys. Thanks for hanging out and watching me plug away. And I will be back here. Yep, Lucini. Thanks for streaming. Thanks for hanging out, man. I will be back Wednesday, 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, which is 10 GMT. I'll let you guys do the math on that. And yeah, I'll be getting closer here. I'll work on this. And there's also this other. I got too many projects, man. I got way too many plates spinning. But I am making headway on this one. But in the meantime, feel free to go to Steam and try the game out. You can play the entire game in its current form, totally free on playtest on Steam. Triple Troubles. Yeah, the link was right up there. Yeah, just click on that link there and it'll come up. So, all right, let's let the penny do her thing. Let's do this. Ready? There you go. Come here. There she is. She acts like she hasn't seen me in like a week, but it's like literally an hour ago. But she's just excited because she knows it's Frisbee time, right? Frisbee? Frisbee? There you do one more. There you go. Now I'll go do it for real in the backyard. Let's see. There you go. You finished on a win. All right. That's it for me, guys. I will see you on Wednesday. Until then, take care of yourselves, okay? All right. Adios.